Are we good? All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Westminster. I'm Graham Dodge from Magic. I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, as always, Genie Bird Baking Company for providing the baked goods, and American Ice Company Cafe for the coffee, and Startup Portal for hosting the space here. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, be sure to put any questions and comments in the comment section of this live stream, and we will read them out loud in real life here. So let me just go through real quick what 1 Million Cups is all about for the uninitiated, although everyone in this room has seen this probably 1,000 times. So the mission of 1 Million Cups is to lower the barrier for access to education, resources, and connections for entrepreneurs. This mission does not get accomplished without the pillars and the core program, which are, this is all about presentations, not pitches, connections, not networking. Culture is to be for the community, by the community. Nobody has ownership of 1MC Westminster. No one's being paid to do 1MC Westminster, and we are radically and intentionally inclusive. The core program design is that we meet every week at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays. 2 presenters when possible, or if we have 1 presenter, then we'll leave time for community updates from all of you in the community. Presenters' organizations must be less than 5 years old and willing to ask for help. We always try to end with the question, what can we do as a community to help you? These are the organizers of 1 Million Cups Westminster: myself, Chris Abel from the Carroll Technology Innovation Council, Vicki Slinkman from Ting, Jonathan Wheatman, attorney at law, Tina Thomas from Infinite Love Project, Julia Snap from Dirigible Systems, and Gabby Rose from Magic. And without further ado, I am very proud to welcome back Tequil Gibson from Dental Desires, who has been hard at work on building his company. Come on up, Tequil, and take it away.
All right, how you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Awesome. So my name is Tequil Gibson. I'm the founder of Dental Desires. Now, a little background about myself. I grew up living in Baltimore. A lot of people ask, what is Baltimore like? And it's no other description other than it's like Gotham City. I grew up living in the poverty of Baltimore. You know, I grew up in like all of these nasty areas such as Brooklyn, Cherry Hill, et cetera, experiencing stuff that I did not want to be a part of. And there were 2 things that kept me out of trouble: my passion for sports, my passion for STEM. But it was such a struggle to express that due to the lack of funding at my Baltimore City high school. It was so poor we couldn't even afford a Spanish or chemistry teacher, and by the end of my junior year, school was eventually shut down. Luckily that year, I moved to Essex, Maryland, where I graduated from a STEM academy. I was able to do so many great things for my STEM future. For instance, I was part of robotics. I was building my own electrical car and raced in the 5th annual RFK electrical car race. How many high schoolers can say they built an electrical car? You know, I've done some awesome stuff like that. And it just motivated me to be successful for my family until the day I went to McDaniel College, and which inspired me to give back to my community. And that's when I got the idea, Dental Desires. Now, when I was a kid, I hated brushing my teeth. Hated it so much, I hated it. Do not talk about my teeth, seriously. I don't want to brush my teeth. But every year I always had cavities, because with a child's sweet tooth, every dental visit involved cavity fillings. And it wasn't until my freshman year of high school where we had dentists come up to the schools, and I don't know what they did, but I had a toothpick for almost 6 months. So ever since then, I've been practicing dental hygiene very, very perfectly. Now, however, there are still people that still struggle with this. Over 26% of adults in the U.S. have untreated tooth decay, gum disease, and tooth loss. 46% of adults ages 30 years or older show signs of gum disease, and 42% of children, including me, when I was a kid, ages 2 to 11, had cavities affecting their primary teeth. And a lot of people do not know, but poor oral health leads to heart diseases. So here's a diagram of our teeth. We got the gum issue, we got the root, and as you can see from the plaque and tartar that is right over here, this harmful bacteria from the plaque and tartar, it can enter to the bloodstream through the gums, causing localized and cystic inflammation. And what pumps our blood? The heart, which leads to all of these diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, rheumatic respiratory diseases. And this is where Dental Desires comes in. Our goal is to offer brand new flavors into the market and escape the tradition of these boring, same old flavors of mint or bubblegum or cinnamon that we use every single day. And what's great about us is that we only create flavors for children and adults. Now, let's take a look at our target audience. So we did a customer discovery interview with over 2,000 subjects, and we learned that girls are more likely to want our products. But although younger girls might be our target audience, our consumers are the middle and high-class parents that are eager to improve their child's dental hygiene. Now, let's take a look at some of our flavors. So we have banana cream, birthday cake, pumpkin spice, red velvet, sangria, pina colada. A lot of people say mint chocolate chip ice cream tastes like toothpaste. We turned it into a toothpaste. Cotton candy, a princess thing, which would be for our target audience of younger girls. Orange creamsicle, tiramisu, mermaid, also for the younger audience. Pink lemonade, and lavender haze. And that's all of the flavors that we have as far as right now. And which makes our labels a little bit differently is that we are making dynamic, vividly bright colored labels for our children flavors and aesthetically pleasing minimalistic colors for our adult labels. So another thing we're incorporating as we launch is the Dental Desires app. And in this app, it's going to have a parents-only dashboard to monitor your child's brushing habits, augmented reality gaming. So shout out to Engage All because we plan on working with them as far as creating video dynamics and video games to promote dental hygiene. Subscription service, so that way you never run out of our products. Interactive packaging, so on the back we're going to have maybe like a barcode, and from that, you get the download the Dental Desires app and do augmented reality gaming. 24/7 AI customer support from our app and IoT-enabled toothbrushes. So going back to the parents-only dashboard, we're going to either partner up with a toothbrush company, so that way they can be able to monitor their child's brushing habits. And then when we're able to raise enough capital, then we're going to start, manufacturing our own IoT-enabled toothbrushes. So look at some of our testimonials. Tastes just like tiramisu last time I was here. Another little girl, she tried the pina colada. This is so cool. How is this possible? I'm making my dad buy this. And other than that, we met the governor. He loved our products. Him and his cabinet, we participated in the Towson Startup Accelerator a couple months ago, and he loved it. This is amazing. Dental Desires has my full support.
Oh, very cool.
So, how are we going to attract customers? Dental offices, cold calling dental offices, promoting our products, trade shows, TV, radio advertising, social media advertisements. My co-founder, who I am repping today, shout out to Taya Valkyrie. You can catch her on ANT of AEW every Wednesday and Friday. Schools to promote dental hygiene, and hotels. So the interesting thing about hotels is that I know some hotels have toothpaste, complimentary toothpaste, lotions and stuff. So we're going to give them our products to also balance the different type of theme that they have for their products as well. How are we going to make revenue? We're going to be selling online. We're going to be selling through Amazon. We're going to be selling through our app. We're also going to be going to retail. So after we raise a little bit of revenue, our goal is to apply for the Target Accelerator. Once we do that, that's going to be foot in the door to retail stores such as Target, et cetera, et cetera. Dental offices, so we're selling them our products as well to promote dental hygiene, creating a mutualistic partnership, and hotels. So what's our production service line? So our tube sizes are going to be 3.4 ounces and 6 ounces. What's the normal size range for toothpaste? Vividly dynamic designs for children's toothpaste flavors and aesthetically pleasing colors for the adult tubes. And we're going to be offering a subscription service through our app and through our website. Member rewards. So you know how Chick-fil-A or McDonald's, when you buy their food, you tally up points to get free products. We plan on incorporating that as well. And season theme. So we guys already saw pumpkin spice. How about a gingerbread theme? Or 4th of July, Star Sprinkler Splash theme. We're going to do so many cool things about that. So this is our pricing. So the cost of production is around $2 to $3, $2 at the minimum. And for our wholesale price, we're going to be selling it at $2.50 for a 3.4 ounce. Retail price, $4.50. For our 6 ounce, we're going to be selling at $5 wholesale price and $7 for our retail price. Now, who's our competition? You know those big companies of Close Up, Colgate, and Crest. How are we different? Now, flavors, that's it. No, of course. You know, we're offering these unique flavors that are bringing the fun and motivation for dental hygiene for children and adults. And if you take a look at the ingredients for these companies, such as Colgate, I'm calling you out, you guys have artificial flavors and sweeteners, stuff that should not be in toothpaste. So our goal is to add in natural ingredients all the way down to our flavors, so that way we are promoting dental hygiene as perfection for your guys' teeth. And the last thing is philanthropic partnerships. So I plan on working with Boys and Girls Club, Kids Incorporated, so on and so on. Last week we just hired a humanities director that's going to help a lot with that. And with my contact with the governor and his cabinet, we're going to be working together and creating governor partnerships. We're attending conferences to promote dental hygiene, working with organizations such as WIC and Boys and Girls Club, et cetera, et cetera. So think of us like Tom's, but with better flavors. So this is my team. That's me. This is my co-founder, which I'm repping her shirt, by the way, our sales marketing assistant. My 2 awesome graphic designs, who does a lot more than just graphic designs. They are amazing. And at the end of the day, our goal is to change the world one smile at a time. Thank you, guys. All right, any questions?
Excellent presentation, Tequil. All right.
Yes.
Who wants to kick us off with questions? Yes, Vicki Slinkman.
I'll start. First, thank you so much for coming back. It's lovely to see the updates and how much you've done just in the time since you were here last.
Definitely. I couldn't have done it without you guys, by the way. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, good. So kudos to you. And I love just the presentation as a whole. The colors, everything is really graphic and pops and lovely. In terms of the pricing, and I will admit my ignorance because I'm very blessed that my husband likes to do our grocery shopping. So I do not know the correct price of a tube of toothpaste. Yeah. But do you, in terms of pricing, is your product considered a premium price compared to like the Colgate and the Crest, or is it about on par with them?
Yeah, it's definitely considered a premium price because, you know, our flavors are just different. Like, we're not, you know, the boring mint traditional toothpaste that you see in like every single store. So that's why we kind of have a higher price than Colgate. And of course, once we're popular, we might start to, you know, increase that price as well.
And actually, if I can interject, when it comes to pricing, you have AIM, which is like $1.25. And then you have almost everything else is in the $5 to $6 range. My jaw dropped when I went to buy toothpaste because my guy buys it too, and I was amazed how expensive everything is. So your price range isn't that bad at all.
That's good.
To let you know. And then I have a question about two questions. One's about partnerships and licensing agreements and things of that nature. I happen to have not only a product that we could possibly partner on, but then also a nonprofit. And so I'm thinking, you know, a honey flavored "Be Kind to Yourself." So that would be fun to talk to you about.
They would definitely talk about that.
That would be fun. And then in your and I know, you know, revenue has to flow before you can really start giving back, but it's also important to build the give back as the money starts flowing. When I was a kid, they had people come in, and when I was in 3rd grade, and I remember it because, I don't know, maybe because I was in 3rd grade, but they gave us the baby toothpaste and the baby toothbrush, and they taught us how to brush our teeth at school. And it was so memorable to me. I was like, Mom, guess what? You know, and it was so impactful to me that then I carried it home to the family. So I didn't know if you had in the market plans that you have. I saw you mention school once, but then it kind of dropped off. Whether you have any give back options to actually start plugging into the 3rd grade local schools.
Yeah, definitely. So that's pretty much why we're going to schools, doing the same thing as to what, we did when they were kids, promote dental hygiene. So, we're going to be giving these kids our products, teaching them how to brush teeth and promote dental hygiene. And what's different between, when they came up to our school is that we look at these flavors. they're gonna go insane. So yeah, that's definitely something that we're excited that we're going.
That's fabulous.
Well, speaking of the giving back, are you set up as an LLC or a C corp right now?
LLC.
Okay, because if and when you convert to a C corp,
yeah.
And that's going to happen if you do want to raise venture capital, yeah. Even taking money from accelerator programs like Techstars, they're going to ask you to do that. Yeah. You might as well apply for a public benefit corporation status, so you can be officially a B Corp, okay. Which means that you can actually give back, and you can actually build that into the DNA of the company, the social good aspect and the sort of education aspect of what you do. Okay. And there may be other venture capitalists that are looking for, or other programs for funding that are looking for companies with B Corp status. And that we can help you, figure that out too when you're ready to make that conversion.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other questions for Tequila? Yeah, Rick Leinbach.
In your study of the adults and children, did it also include the flavors of the toothpaste?
Yeah. So definitely, what we found out was also the children loved the pina colada the best. Like that was just the one that they just absolutely could not wait for it.
And I asked that because your inventory is pretty big if you're starting out with that. I mean, I know you have those flavors, but are you starting out with that inventory? And I guess how do you afford that, to supply all different flavors?
Yeah, so some of it was just out of pocket, with my own money, and some of it was also from the accelerator that I participated in. They gave me $10,000 for resources, so that definitely helped a lot in performing these type of trials.
Right, but do you have, I heard you mention co-packer earlier.
Yes.
Are you ready to go with the different flavors? I mean, are you still in the building mode?
No, we're definitely ready to go. The only thing that we are focusing on right now for what we need is funding for max inventory for when we're launching in August. By the way, we're launching in August.
That was going to be my next question. And can we get it?
And promoting. So once you guys saw these new labels from they're a lot different from last year. These are going to be finalized, so they're going to be shipped in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Once we do that, advertising is going to start rolling in, and my co-founder is going to be a huge support in that.
So how did you meet tell us more about your co-founder, because she's very unique in what she does for a living. Yeah, so
I'm a huge wrestling fan. I have a huge network in the wrestling community, by the way. I know actually a couple of wrestlers, even, let's see if I can go back to them. This guy, he's also a wrestler in Maryland. He works at the Towson startup at the Armory, but he's also a professional wrestler. So he's a jack of all trades as well. I don't know what's it about me and wrestlers, but we just get along so well. But I offered Kira a position. I was like, hey, I got an awesome idea. You're an actress, you're a model, you're an entrepreneur. She also has her own clothing line industry. You would be a great fit for this company. And she agreed. She loved the idea. She loved the mission. She wants to be a part of it. And we're killing it. And we're going to launch in August. And we're going to make some moves.
Now you co-CEO, so you both have CEO titles.
Yeah. I might have to change that. Maybe have me as a COO or CEO. We'll see in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can also play the president title. President.
Yeah, president. Yeah.
Or be like me and just become the chief positivity officer and
right.
covers everything.
Right.
You do a good job at that, by the way.
Yeah. And he's crushing it that way too. That's why I said take that way.
That's right.
Any other questions? Any questions online? Yeah. I know. My wife in particular is very concerned about ingredients, and she gets out the magnifying glass and looks at all the ingredients. And I even know, in the natural communities, there are ingredients that kind of come and go in popularity based on recent studies. Being on top of that recent research, I know is really key in some of these communities. And I think it was a derivative of xylitol or derivative of some other natural sweetener that came out recently that actually was, bad for you. So, like, how do you kind of stay on top of those trends when, you know, Tom's of Maine is an interesting comparison, but Tom's of Maine is also now owned by a huge company,
Right.
and they're not really embraced by the natural community
Exactly.
anymore. They're buying toothpaste with like dirt and charcoal in it now.
Yep.
So how do you
Yep.
compete with that, or how do you kind of enter the sort of, how do you speak to the natural minded parents, I guess?
So yeah, definitely. Like going back to you know, the Toms and the Colgates, you know, you look at their ingredients and they're just all of these bad artificial flavors and sweeteners. If you take a look at our ingredients, our goal is to, you know, like we see what they're doing, we try to do the opposite. We don't want that, and we have like a lot of dentists also in partnership that wants to work with us. Shout out to Valley Dental Health and Timonium, where they, you know, they tell us like, you know, if you launch this on the market, you know, maybe, you know, you might get a bad rep for natural flavors. So they definitely give us like a good insight for like creating natural ingredients and to actually, you know, do good for, you know, your guys' teeth instead of adding.
So you're referring to then the experts, the dentists
Yeah,
themselves,
yeah.
for that advice.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's great.
Well, what about your shelf life? If you have all natural ingredient, is there any concern with regards to the product and how long you can sell it for?
No, our shelf life is 20 months, so and that's like almost the normal toothpaste tube. Actually, like it's a little bit less than that, but yeah, it's kind of like a normal shelf life, so we don't have any issues with that.
And just piggybacking on that, when
Yeah.
once the tube is open,
Yeah.
is there a shelf life once the air hits it and people start using it? Like if you know, Tommy didn't like it, but then Cindy does. But it was sitting there for a month before she decided to even try it. Is it still okay?
Yeah, it should still be okay.
Okay, just checking. And when it comes to packaging and trying to be environmentally friendly, do you have aspirations on trying to do packaging that is not plastic?
So that is a thing that we want to incorporate because, you know, going back to like what some of the big companies do, like Colgate, they have like, you know, the plastic tubes, and then they also have like recycling, you know, different type of biodegradable tubes. So that's something as we launch, we're going to try to incorporate both and see which like consumers like the most.
Well, obviously you have to choose your beachhead, right, with your
Yeah.
market. You know,
Yeah.
and that's kind of to my point. And my question's also about the natural ingredients because the natural, you know, crunchy mom movement is like an ever evolving, very fickle group that loves you one day and thinks you're the devil the next day.
Right.
So to align your beachhead more with the mainstream, what the mainstream dentists are recommending, and that's probably a much bigger market anyway, and the kind of market that buys and sells, you know, does business on the trade show floor as well, which is part of our earlier conversation. But so I think from everything else that you're presenting, it seems like you do know what your beachhead is as it relates to it's mostly targeting the kids and the parents who are buying the toothpaste for those kids, right? Trying to appeal to them and trying to make sure that you're creating a toothpaste that kids want to brush their teeth with, which is, of course, like the whole point of the branding and the products and your mission, and which is your social good mission to make sure kids brush their teeth more, right? And to Tina's point, like you can align, obviously you said Boys and Girls Club earlier, but there's a lot of other nonprofits out there that you could align with and do advocacy in schools and all that kind of good stuff. So I think that is all absolutely on the right track.
Thank you, guys.
Any other questions or comments before we wrap it up?
We have one on Facebook from Steve Lowe from 127 Creative. Is that right?
Steve?
Yeah.
I know we talked about this before, but I'm still concerned why the big guys aren't offering flavors. With all their money, I would assume they've done a bit of market research that convinced them that the good old mint is what the market wants. What do you think?
You tell me, Colgate. First. That's a good point. I think just because, you know, they've been selling it for a while and, you know, they haven't had any problems, they're just going to keep going with it. what sets us apart from them is, what's different from a taxi service to Uber. We've made something, a different type of approach, same concept, just a different approach to create something more innovative. So that's what we're planning to do.
Well, these are legacy brands we're talking about that have had probably close to the same formulas and flavors for decades, not centuries. I think centuries. Some of them might be 100 years old. And, I remember reading a book about different co-founders' experiences, and someone was asking the founders of PayPal, like, why didn't Visa, MasterCard do what you were doing? And they said, well, it's because they were busy being Visa and MasterCard, right? Yeah. They don't innovate. They don't turn on a dime. So your competitors, the people that you're worrying about and staying up at night worrying about, are not Colgate and Crest. It's the other startups that are realizing, hey, there's the flavor technology, so to speak, has changed. We can do a lot more with different flavors now, and we can actually manufacture, keep inventories of many different flavors now because of the cost of manufacturing, or the way the fulfillment's done these days is so much different than what it used to be. Like the old model of getting one product made, in unit quantities of thousands of units at a time, and having to hold that inventory in a warehouse. Like I would imagine the drop shipment fulfillment process has changed so much that you can manufacture much smaller quantities and drop ship directly from the facilities where they're being manufactured. Right. So it's like, that's why Crest and Colgate aren't doing what you're doing, because they're used to an old way of doing things, and they know it works. It's their same flavors that they've had, and they'll pivot around different sort of dental, 9 out of 10 dentists agree that this new thing is the thing. Like that's where they kind of seem to innovate around is.
So is this like the Harry's razors, where they first really got started online and then eventually got shelf space, right? That's the battle, because you're battling Target, Walmart. You're not going to get that space without putting up some money. Right,
exactly. And it's a great guerrilla marketing technique for you to go into schools too, because that way you bypass a lot of that gatekeeping at Walmart and Target, and you go right to the schools, to parents.
And you can also hit the parents who are more eco-conscious, who are at the Whole Foods and Sprouts and the other markets that are starting to gain ground in the big box store arena.
Definitely.
I'll throw it out there that I know the founders of Goose Ridge Soaps here in Carroll County, they told me that there's somebody here in Carroll who helps buy for a lot of the big grocery stores like Sprouts and Wegmans and stuff like that. They help find them products. So we'll connect you with the Goose Ridge Soaps ladies, and hopefully they can introduce you to that same person.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I guess the one question I have is, based on Graham's question of tweaking one of those slides, maybe the one with a grave, and instead putting in something about how why should Tums have died? Because you have ingredients that are healthy and non-toxic and all that stuff. So maybe throw a slide in there that speaks to Graham's question. That's the only thing I think that was missing in your presentation. That it should get at least one slide to explain why, Tums can just go away.
But even before Tom's died, it didn't taste good.
Sure.
Like that's this to me, the value prop as a mom of an 8-year-old who we have to bribe or physically brush his teeth every day to get it done. The value prop for me is that he would actually be interested in doing it because it tastes good. Like I would love a donut, just a plug, like a breakfast toothpaste, like a donut toothpaste. I think he would be all over. But that to me is it, because I went for a Tom's because I'm like, oh, I like their package, I like their mission at the time, but it tasted horrible.
Yeah.
And so you have to pick and choose. And to Steve's question about Colgate, do they really care if your kid is actually brushing their teeth or not? No, they just want you to continue to buy their toothpaste, whereas you are actually interested in making sure that your product is used for kids' dental health.
Yep.
Which is marvelous. So what can we as a community do for you to help you?
All right, so there are 2 things that we're on the verge of and looking for. Funding for max inventory, and our network, which we're already talking about for trade shows, schools around Carroll County and throughout Maryland, and after-school programs.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. Great job. All right. So we have time for community updates. If anybody wants to come up and share an update. You do?
Yeah, can you go to LinkedIn, please?
LinkedIn.
Yeah, Infinite Love Project is on LinkedIn.
You're going to make me put my LinkedIn up on public display.
Should be, there's a post. There it is.
This one?
So, yes. So, Infinite Love Project played with
Play the
AI. Yeah, go ahead and play it. Full screen the video. And if you can restart it again, just so you
listen more than you
part.
speak.
I'm still learning about, how to play with AI. This is one of the AI tools. Here we go. Yeah.
There is a world of wisdom just waiting for you. Listen more than you speak. Learn new things wherever you go. Find the lessons in your experiences. Remember, it is important to walk around outside with your bare feet touching the ground. Spending time in nature brings a calming reminder that everything is connected. And while it is important to spend time in quiet reflection, it is equally as important to reach out to other people. The connections you make with others, no matter how brief or how deep, are essential for everyone. Find ways you can be helpful. Always be kind. Kindness is the sunshine in dark times. And in case you need a reminder, get yourself a sign. Display it where you and others will see it frequently. Inspiration will come when you need it, and you can make someone's day, even your own. Visit BeKindSign.com today.
It was used with artflow.ai, just playing around with the free stuff. But I wanted to show everybody that there's AI out there that doesn't cost a thing, just a little bit of your time and your imagination. And just give it a try. I mean, that was just absolutely not the cream of the crop type of video that I would love to have representing my brand, but it's fun. It makes you giggle. It turned out okay. It took me maybe an hour and a half, just because I went to artflow.ai and I figured it out in an hour and a half, and that's the second version, as I tweaked the first version. So I encourage everybody who's, not sure what to do with the AI, just dive in. Have fun with it. This is just the start.
Very cool. Cool. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, there used to be a text-to-animation platform called Extra Normal, just about XTRA, Extra Normal. I used to play around when I was doing accounting marketing. I did a whole series of these sort of animated cartoons called Gotta Love Tax Season. And it actually got featured in the Huffington Post. This was like back in 2014. But of course now it's all AI driven. But that was like, you had to like pick your scenes, pick your characters, you typed up the whole script, and you had to do a lot of editing yourself to make it actually flow as like a video. So I imagine it's a lot easier these days. All right. Any other community updates? I know Magic has one, if you want me to just go ahead and jump in on that. Magic is hosting a Capture the Flag event this Saturday at Carroll Community College. It's not too late to register a team if you know someone who might be interested in joining. It's a beginner level competition. Do we take walk-ins, Gabby? On day of, do you know?
We do, but we only have so many laptops available if you need one, so it's best to know that in advance.
Right, so if you are doing a walk-in at the community college, then probably bring your own laptop to guarantee that you can actually compete. But this is a beginner level competition. This is really for anybody. I even had my own mother go through a CTF online just because she was interested in sort of, what kind of part-time cybersecurity opportunities there might be. I said, well, Mom, if you're really interested, take this, online competition and see how you do. She actually did pretty well. Anyway, it can embolden your interest in cybersecurity, or it could, maybe help you decide that it's not for you. But either way, it's a lot of fun. And we tend to have over 300 students participating around the world. So you'll be competing with students in Estonia, with students in the Dominican Republic. And I know Wyoming is participating. We have students in Wyoming that will be part of this. But if you are here in Carroll County and you want to participate, you can come to Carroll Community College this Saturday at 11 a.m. It starts at 11 a.m., so get there a little bit before, probably around 10:30 to get signed up if you're intending to walk in. Anyway, and then we are hosting a ribbon cutting for our new Autonomous Robotics Innovation Center. So when I saw, my heart leapt when I saw Tequil's electric car that he made, because that sort of proves the thesis of what we're trying to do here, because we will also be building electric cars and then making them autonomous at this facility. But so you'll be seeing some news about this in the media over the next couple of weeks with all the various partnerships that we've established to get this new facility launched. And that'll be on Monday at a ribbon cutting ceremony officially. Any other community updates? And if not, we'll just, let you guys kind of mingle and eat some baked goods.
We have a comment from Steve Hill about the Biz Challenge.
Oh yes, the Biz Challenge. Thank you for reminding me, Steve. Let's see, carrollbizchallenge.com. The Carroll County Biz Challenge, hosted by the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce, is on August 3rd, 2023. And then there's 49 days, 15 hours, 22 minutes, and 44 seconds left to apply. So get your applications in, and you will have a chance to then compete for $10,000 plus grand prize. I guess the $10,000 is cash, right? Is that right, Steve?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then the plus are all sorts of value added, other sort of in-kind prizes. And then not only can you win the grand prize, but you can also win the People's Choice Award or the Changemaker Award. Changemaker Award, I believe, is chosen by United Way of Central Maryland. So they get to choose that. And they can choose that from anyone, not just the finalists. So even if you don't become a finalist, you can still get plucked from the Changemaker Award and still win $5,000. So entry deadline's May 31st. Live finale is on August 3rd. Any questions about that? And if so, direct them towards Steve Lowe at 127 Creative, which is 127creative.com, I believe. Any other questions or community updates?
Just
Yes.
a reminder that tonight is the Main Street Mile, am I correct?
Yes.
Tonight is the Main Street Mile down
Main
in
Street Mile
Westminster.
in Westminster. What is that?
So the Main Street will be closed for people to run the mile.
Oh, so it's like a marathon type thing?
Yeah,
Is it
it's a
for a specific
40-year-old
charity?
event. Yeah. No, it's just something that the
The city does?
city does.
So in Westminster tonight,
Main Street Mile.
Main Street Mile, starting what time?
I think they start to close down around 6:30.
6:30. So avoid Main Street.
Or run, or participate. Yeah.
Go right to
I've
Main
walked
Street.
the Main Street Mile.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, Tina, you want to come take us out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, sure thing. Thank you. We are 1 Million Cups Westminster. Thanks to Graham and Magic for bringing the Kauffman Foundation to our community. Thanks to Startup Portal for hosting us. And thanks to Jeannie Bird for the sweet treats and American Ice Cafe for the go-go juice. Sometimes we have one presenter, sometimes we have two. Next time it could be you. Go to 1millioncups.com/Westminster and click Apply to Present. You never know where your idea can take you. And if you don't know how to present your thoughts, we can help you formulate that and put it together and help you get where you want to go. So everybody have a great week.